personal sacrifices breed commitment. If you're working towards something that you want to derive greatness out of, whether it's your physique, your mindset, your body, because anything worth doing is going to be hard, and you will always have to pay the price for it. If you see a YouTube video titled "The One Life Hack to Discipline," you will never struggle again. You can click off, don't even click on the YouTube video, because you will never ever find this one life hack that makes life so easy and butterflies and rainbows. That's not why successful people got successful. If you have that mental frame, you have to switch it up, because you're going to be stuck in this loop where you're like trying to find what's easy, trying to listen to your emotions, and you will never ever get anywhere. Going back to this, if you're working towards something and you have the blessings so you're fortunate enough to always have food on the table, no matter if you fail, so you don't really feel the urgency, it's not like do or die. Because quite frankly, for most of y'all, even if you fail the one business that you started, whether it's anything really, you're going to be fine, and you know that. Then that kind of makes you relax, that kind of makes you comfortable a little bit. And the way I solved it is, I went out of my way, something I never would have done a year ago, because the me back then was very kind of arrogant, wouldn't have really understood the value of that. I got a job and I spent the 1K that I collected through the job on a course. I felt the money going through, passing in my bank account, going back to like 20, 30 euros. Hurts, right? But that is the personal sacrifices that you have to do to tell your body it's do or die. If I hadn't done that, because the past me would have thought, oh, well, I don't really need to do these sacrifices. I can just take 3 months longer and then learn that. I don't have to sacrifice. The information's free online and I can find anything. But quite frankly, other than the fact that this is wrong, even if this were to be correct, the fact that I personally sacrifice and go out of my comfort zone and go out of my way to do something is telling my brain, telling my mind, it's do or die. And ever since, it's pretty funny now, because ever since I've done that commitment, ever since I started going to my job, carrying boxes in the morning, quite humbling, to be honest, because when you don't have to do that, and you had planned your life from a young moment onwards, from when you were young, thinking, oh, I will never have to get a job like that. I can just go to university and then get an office job and I'll be comfortable. However, once you put yourself through that and your brain understands, oh shit, we're not that comfortable, nothing's guaranteed, that is where you can finally collect the willpower, where you can finally start getting scared that you might fail. I have moments where I genuinely cannot sleep. And I used to hear people being like, dude, I wanted to do it so bad I couldn't sleep at night. And I was like, come on now, like, that's probably not true. But I understand now the personal sacrifices you've made and the fear that comes with it. Thinking, dude, I put so much value in there and I just can't have it fail. Because I quite frankly can't afford to have wasted 6 months, a year, So if you don't feel the fire and you're like, you think, oh, they're like me, bro. That's what I used to do. You're comfortable. You're like, oh, well, it can take longer, but I'll get there anyway. I don't need to do that, really. It can take longer for me. It's fine. But you're not just making the process longer. You're making the process take forever. And the fact that you will never, ever go out of your comfort zone to sacrifice for it already guarantees you will never, ever get there. You have to change yourself. If you cannot get yourself to do something like I couldn't, go out of your way. I'm not telling you to get a job like I did. I don't know your situation, quite frankly, but go out of your comfort zone. If you've been trying to lose weight, maybe wake up early, do something that is extremely painful, extremely uncomfortable, where you're telling your body, dude, I'm going to put myself through so much discomfort, and I'm going to put myself through so much of this, through such a negative state. And I don't want it to be for nothing. I'm going to put in the effort, and you make a deal with yourself. It's a contract. You might not understand it at the time, but later on, once you've taken the contract and you're like, there's no going back, that is what it takes to make it. Me spending that 1K was necessary. Not just for the value of the course, that is something else. That is besides the point. It's about the fact that I went out of my comfort zone and I did it anyway. The me a year ago wouldn't have even been able to get a job, let alone go out at 5 a.m. when it's snowing and carry boxes. Who cares? I still am able to go home, even if I get sick, whatever, and have food on the table. So you have a net that catches you anyway. I had a guy text me on Instagram. He lives in a tent right now because of war. He had to flee. And he was saying, oh, I want to get an apartment and I want to start hitting the gym again. And I have these couple goals and I want to start praying, whatnot. And I just can't get myself to do it. And I asked him, what are you exactly struggling with? Because his situation is worse than many of y'all watching. Imagine you're living in a tent. I couldn't even believe him. I went on his profile. I'm like, dude, like this guy's actually like going through it, you know, because he posted war pictures behind him and stuff like that. A war environment. And I told him, you cannot commit to that because you're too afraid of your commitment being in vain. You're too afraid of looking back and being like, oh, I spent 6 months trying to get in shape and nothing happened and I wasted all this time and effort. But here's the thing, you have to dive head on into the abyss. You have to jump exactly when you don't want to jump. And I'm not even like, let alone waiting for the right moment. You should be like, I hate doing this. That's probably why it's the right way. And this is something I've been trying to preach for a long time, but I don't like preaching anything that I haven't acted on. So it was good. It was a good experience for me to get the job, do the things I hated to do, make the money to spend it all on a fucking course that made me feel terrible about myself. Seeing all the money you made and all these like days that you worked on. I'm not trying to complain here, but seeing all that money go out of your bank account, you feel like a vomit. You feel disgusted. So anyway, and I told that guy, you have to dive head on. You don't even have much to lose. You literally live in a tent. Like you should have a fire under your ass. And you know what's the problem with many people? Fortunately, I don't know if it's the way I speak or why exactly, but people under my comments or people who have been messaging me on Instagram aren't like people trying to become teachers, because most people are too arrogant just because they are able to make a social media account and comment under others. They think they're so entitled to their own opinion. They think they know so much. There's dudes out there who watch porn, who cheat on their wives, who don't even work out, eat shitty food, who are still like commenting under people's posts or trying to be successful. Come on now, bro. Come on. Be honest to yourself. So my advice to you would be to dive head on into the abyss. To do what you hate. And yes, I'm talking to you. Yes, even though when I said this, you were like, no, well, he doesn't really mean that. Like, you thought about your own situation, you're like, well, no, that's not what I have to do. Like, he's talking about another situation, probably. I mean, your exact situation, the exact situation that came through your mind when I said dive into the abyss. The exact same things that you thought about that you could do when I said that. Just dive in. Personally, be so personally connected to your cause and goal that you tell your mind, I have to get it done. You have to get it done. Take care, boys. It's a short video, I know, but I just had to share this with you. I've been kind of getting away from my talks, sharing my issues, because I've been so focused on building a couple systems for you guys that are, I don't even want to spoil it too much, but I have a lot of great information coming for you guys. My advice to you would be, like I said, keep your commitment to the utmost level. Who cares about how you feel? Who cares about, oh, I'm scared, you know, like I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to, who cares? You're not wasting shit. No effort is wasted if it's persevered through. The only wasted effort is when you do something half-assed for 6-7 months and then you leave it. That's actually wasted. Take care, boys.